Thanks for checking our channel here. This is going to be a repair video on an old style Gallagher BEV3. This is when they had Snell was a distributor here in the States. Gallagher was still making it, but Snell was a distributor for Gallagher. They became in-house and did distributors here in the States in the early 90s. And but anyways, Snell that's who Snell was. But this is a mid-80s model. I haven't plugged it in. Don't know anything about what's wrong with it. We'll take it apart here and start playing with it here in a minute. But this was a really good unit. They made a BEV2 and a BEV way before this. It was a big oblong rectangular thing. No parts were anywhere similar to this. It was a different layout and everything. But the BEV3 came out in probably like 84, 83, 85, somewhere in that range. And name only continued on to about 89. And when Gallagher decided Snell wasn't doing a very good job, let's do it ourselves here in the States. And they came out with an M800 namesake anyways. It looked just like this, orange case, everything. But it was a M800. Guts were the same. That name was around up until 2005. So this had like a 20-year run of this generation. So this is a 40-year-old design roughly. So let's we'll take it apart here in a second. Let me, before I forget, there's information right there. So if you want to send us a unit to be worked on, we'll be happy to take a look at it for you. We get free quotes. There's links in the description area below. You can click on, take you to our website, fencerfixer.com. and cattlescalerepair.com. We work on livestock waste skills and stuff for mostly Gallagher and Tru-Test. So let's pull this apart and see what it's doing, or see what it looks like. Pretty clean unit, so it must be kept somewhere where it's not getting beat up by the sun and everything else. Bulbs are burned out, but that's cosmetic. That's factory capacitor. So let's see if there's any dates on this thing. There's a sticker right there. 1983. So June 20th, 1983. So this thing's 40 years old. 40-year-old unit from when it was manufactured. So. And see, the old, later style, they got the zip tie type of thing in there holding this capacitor. Later on, they used like a clamping device that you could actually pull out and remove and reuse. But this was the old style. So this might be a 40-year-old capacitor. So let's test it first. This is a 30 microfarad. The later ones, they look just like it, but they were a 40. Let's pull this module out of here. They've had a couple versions of modules from back in this day. This is a later style, even though it's old. This is not the original version board they used to use. Look just like this layout, but they used a different SCR on there, the one that was actually bolted to the case versus being soldered. So let's test this capacitor. Should be 30 microfarads, but it's probably going to read way off somewhere. 2.6. So yeah, that needs to be changed. Well, we're not going to put a 30 back in it. Well, we'll either put a 30 or a 40. Depends on what I got in stock. Either one's going to work fine. I need to snip off, or here, get my knife. I'll cut this zip tie. It's pretty snug. It's just hard to get in there to put some kind of glue crap on there, because you couldn't reuse these. These had to be cut. And we'll put another thick zip tie on there to hold it on there. We'll unplug these wires. That is probably the original capacitor too. So let me go see what I got for capacitors and I'll be right back. Okay, I don't have any big 40s. I got this one here. It's a 40 microfarad capacitor, but it's shaped like this. But we'll probably put it in there. We'll strap it in place. Same thing. Let the solder leads on there, run it over to the wires and stuff like that. Or we can put it like this and maybe solder them on there. And then maybe if they're long enough to tilt it up, I don't know, we have to make wires longer. But that will work there. Let's check out this board real quick. These boards last a long time. We'll do some checks on the thermal cutout. We do need to replace the bulbs on it. They're supposed to be white, which these are, but if you look at them real close, they're grayed out around here, so they're burned out. Let's check that thermal shutdown. Little cutout thing on there. Should be like a fuse. Okay, it is good, so we'll assume the board at the moment is fine. Let's do a check on the primary side of the transformer. Should be 0.1 to 1 ohms right here. 0.2, so primary is good. So if we put a new capacitor in there, in theory, it should click. I mean, we got to replace those light bulbs there, but that's cosmetic. Do, I guess, one more check just to see what kind of output we might get. We'll go across the transformer secondary. Should be about 11 ohms, give or take. 10, might be okay. Oh, I got the soldering iron on in case we need to add more wires, but we're going to have to need to snip these off though to start with, because we're not going to be able to use these spade connectors anymore. I can already tell this wire, unless we put it like right there. We'll solder that one there, but will red ones reach over there? It might. We'll see what we do. Get my strippers out and we'll start trimming back the leads here. Black one here. I'm actually going to pull it up. I don't know if that might give us a little extra length. Don't need a lot of wires, insulation trimmed off. Okay, let's solder. Okay, let's see. That's going to reach pretty good, so we'll go right there. Black one's going to go here. And we're going to put the two red ones over here. Now we'll tin the wires on each of these. Zoom in and show you what we're doing. Basically, what I'm trying to do is put some solder on your iron, and then you touch what you want to solder on. It helps the heat transfer to it better. And you add solder there. Covers up the whole thing. And then a black wire right here. Do the same thing. Clean it. We've got kind of excess on there. Clean my iron off. Add a little solder to it to tin that. And we'll add a little solder here to that. Now it's all covered up. So all three of these have got solder all around them. So now we'll zoom back out. And then I'll show what we do here. Come on. Now we're going to take this wire and we're just going to hold it side by side, since all this one, and this one are being used. We're going to basically solder the wires onto those. And we'll solder to our iron. And we'll grab this, just because it's kind of, you need to add it, just need to get on like this, and it's just hard to hold that, and because it gets kind of darn hot with your fingers on there, that heat will flow down this wire a little ways and you'll start to feel it in your fingers. So now, bring this up and over. Okay, that can reach there or there, so I just want to see which wire is going to be easiest to go which spot. Okay, so we'll take this wire, hold them side by side, we'll solder it right there, heat the two things up while they're touching, hold it tight for a moment until the solder cools off and hardens up, and it should stay. Same thing here, hold them side by side, together, heat them up together, the solder should flow together. So that pass-through is good to go. And I'm just going to, since there's plenty of room for these wires to be pulled on, I'm going to kind of halfway center it, and we'll put a long thick zip tie back through and hold this there. And I might even put a little tape across right here, and what that's going to do is help keep that capacitor there, one, and it will also keep that zip tie from coming out, because there's all this open area, so you can pop right out of there. Put that across there. That will keep it in place. So basically center it. Oh, he's pretty close. Push it up against there like that. Kind of hold it for a moment while the adhesive kind of sticks to it. Let me grab a zip tie real quick. Alright, we got this nice thick zip tie we're going to put on there. At the bottom, put a little curve to it, that way it kind of curves around. Set it down tight. That passer's not going anywhere unless we want it to. Snips, the ones I want to use, I don't know where they're hiding at, so we'll use this. Alright, so that part of it's done. Zoom out. There. I'm going to plug this module back in. Alright, now the lights probably won't be able to see them flash or anything, but hopefully this thing will start clicking. We'll have to replace those bulbs with new ones. We'll replace those with new ones as well. Those are cosmetic. That won't actually keep it from running. Alright, let's plug it in here. Clicking along. Lights aren't, of course, flashing. Well, these are flashing, but they're burned out, but they are Keep flashing. Alright, put our tester on there. See what we can get out of the thing. Open circuit. .4 kV, which is where this model should be, usually between 5.9 and 6.7, and we're at 6.4. So just from experience, we know that I know this voltage is supposed to be. Now let's go to a 500 ohm load, standard load. Usually these fall down around about 4.5 to 5. We're at 5.4, which is good. And we're at 3.3 joule output. Let's go to a 200 ohm load. Wait a minute. Oh, we were at the wrong load. Hold on. Let's go back here. I didn't have this switch the right one. Try this again. There we go. We're at 5.4 kV at 6.5 joules. Is that right? It says it is. That's pretty good. Let's go to a 200 ohm load. .2 kV at 7.9 output joules. That just based off the nice capacitor we put in there. Let's go to a 100 ohm load. Oh, it went below. It's 7.1. So this is actually a bit stronger than probably what it was from the factory. This is a almost 8 output joule unit, so what is that, like 10, 12 stored? It's pretty darn good. Let's see what kind of pulse speed it's got on it. How often is this thing pulsing? Alright, it is pulsing every 1.1 second, and the shock duration on the fence line itself is only on for 0.18 of a second, or 0.18 milliseconds, so 180 milliseconds. This thing's working pretty darn good, really good for being 40 years old. That's pretty hot unit. So what kind of spark it'll throw? Let me jump across here. Yeah, that's a nice hot spark. So it might be all because that capacitor is a little bit stouter than the factory one that they had in there originally, for sure. Spec wise, I know it's definitely stronger than what it was way back when. So yeah, I was looking at the. This is pretty neat. It shows down here the pulse time, which was 0.18 milliseconds, which is what we were getting with ours. It was pulsing 1.1 second intervals, which is what our tester was showing as well. So this is spot on to what our meter was showing. And it's a 6.8 kV on a warm unit. So we're reading 6.4. So yeah, there's going to be a little tolerance variance in there, of course, on that stuff. Because who knows, that transformer in there could be, 40-year-old too. I would assume so, because all the rust and grime down there, it could have been changed, but maybe it was changed, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, who knows. But these old Gallaghers, man, you really can't beat these things. These things are really good units. We rebuild the boards all the time. We can take care of these boards as well, these output boards. is the old style. They make a newer one. And transformers, we can retrofit a different transformer, no problem as well. So pretty slick stuff. I like these old things. But there's some information right there. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, we appreciate that. And until next time, see you guys later on, and have a good rest of your day.